Hi everyone, welcome back to MovieJube. I'm Jade and I'm here with Jordan.
Hello.
And the two of us are giving our thoughts and opinions on the 7th episode of Halo the series on Paramount Plus. And yeah, we're super excited. As always, spoilers alert, so do make sure that you've watched the most recent episode if you are going to check this out. And make sure to leave a like, subscribe, and hit the notification bell. And let's dig right in.
Yeah. So do you want to go first? Do you want me to go first? Who wants to approach her?
You first.
Okay. I didn't like this episode. No, I didn't hate it, but this was definitely a step down from 5 and 6. It's a Quan-centric episode following her storyline, and it progresses quite a bit. Quan and Sauron.
Sauron, yeah.
And it kind of goes back and forth, and I didn't think it was too engaging on a character front, because I'm not really too into Quan as a character too much, but it had a decent ending. There was some fun action. Yeah. We got to see Sauron and what he can do, and we got to see Quan step up and do some cool stuff. We got seemingly 343 Guilty Spark. Is that what he's got? I forget his name. That's his name. Yeah.
Yeah, that was very interesting. It
seemed to be
like
anyway.
Him. Yeah, it was a brief little snippet of him, and then that was really cool.
And I thought the camera work throughout the episode and transitions were quite cool. Mm-hmm. I thought like some of the dream sequence things that they did, and some of the use of cinematography and the way they used the camera was pretty neat. And the villain man, which I'm calling him.
I don't know his name.
Yeah, I'm sure they've said it, and it's just floating by me. But he honestly reminds me of a bad guy from like Killzone, which is funny. I don't know why I pulled that. He reminds me of like one of the Helghast. I don't know if you've played Killzone, but
no, Killzone. I'm so sorry.
Yeah, he just kind of gives me that vibe of like a futuristic Nazi man. Like,
yeah, honestly, he does. Like from the way he was like talking, like he's announcing everything he says.
Yeah. But no, I don't think it was necessarily a bad episode of television, or even of like what they're setting up here. I was going to say of Halo, but I guess that your mileage may vary depending on how you feel about the show in general. You know, Halo, you know. Yeah. I know a lot of people feel like this doesn't represent what they expect, but I mean, on the show, like I really enjoyed 5 and 6 quite a bit.
Yeah,
and I thought there was a lot of good character development, particularly with Halsey, and I think she's a standout of the show so far, character-wise.
Yeah.
But we didn't get any of that, and I wanted to continue. Like, they built up so much momentum in like 5 and 6, and I know you need a breather, but
it just feels like a complete halt.
It's tough to swallow when, I guess, like you it's a week-to-week kind of content. It's not like a Netflix, right? So you wait a week, and then you kind of get this kind of episode, which doesn't delve back into what is considered the main plot, or at least what I find the most fascinating. It's a bit of a bummer. But overall, it's not a bad episode. I just didn't think it was too great, and I'm not too invested in Quan's story, and I don't think it's necessarily the actress. Like, I think she's doing a good job, and there are some poignant enough moments, like the dream sequence I enjoyed, but her character's honestly just not really too compelling for me. And the worlds that they're visiting and things that are happening on that side of the story feel quite half-baked comparative to the tension and things that they are building on Chief's side. How did you feel, though?
I definitely agree. I would personally say that this is my least favorite episode so far in the entire series. But there was definitely moments I liked. Like the highlight for me of the episode was, that constant, I guess, kind of dream sequence or hallucination sequence where she was fighting with Chief over and over again. But otherwise, I don't know. I don't personally feel that Quan's storyline is very representative of the world that I know of. Obviously, there's more than just the world that I know of Halo. But it just feels a bit distant and irrelevant to the main storyline. So it's hard to stay gripped when I'm already gripped to the main storyline. And then it's like, well, why should I care about this? It doesn't feel like it has anything to do with what Chief is going through and the entire of the UNSC. And I know that they're against the UNSC, and that's the point, but it doesn't feel like it's going anywhere yet.
We got some hints, like with the dream sequence in 343 Guilty Spark, and hints to how she may play a role in the sort of ongoing story or future stuff. But I guess that would jumping too much into speculation at that point. But
Because they didn't specify like any way in which they plan to take on the UNSC. They just took on this guy who was in charge of Madrigal. So I guess they freed Madrigal.
I'm talking about like with the dream sequence in where it shows like a 343 guilty spark and it talks about like the portal and things.
Oh, right, yeah.
Yeah, like that's in like it's hinting that like she will have a more integral role in the plot. For me, it's like, I guess a little teased a little too late. I just don't really find her character that interesting in the plot. You've got enough meat on the bones of like your core characters, UNSC with Halsey, and even like I think they were starting. Yeah, I was about to say Miranda and Jacob, and the relationships with Halsey and Miranda are built up enough now where it's like you've got enough to chew on there. I don't really think this needs to be. Yeah, continue, but you were talking about what you feel.
No, I completely agree. Like, it was definitely the most intriguing part was from that dream sequence then with seemingly Guilty Spark going back into this portal as she was, I guess, speaking to her ancestors and then finally her dad. So that definitely leads my interest because hopefully it'll wrap back around to the main plot. But
lead to Flood.
Ooh, I'd hope so. That'd be nice.
See 343 Guilty Spark. That like, well, if we, as I said, someone might
usually that's related.
Someone could correct us in the comments and be like, there's like another AI.
Yeah, because I know there's more than one AI in
that was in the novels, and this seems like that may be the one. Even based on maybe the design is based off another concept art of a different one. But my initial assumption is there's Guilty Spark, and then immediately jump to like which is, but yeah. But
usually that does tie in with the Flood when he's around.
But I don't want to be too harsh because I think it's also for the format. And look, they should have catered to that when you're making a Paramount Plus show. They do week-to-week episodes. From this show, I don't know if every show they do. But maybe if it was a Netflix format where they dropped the 9-episode season, this episode wouldn't maybe land with as much of a thud for me. Like, it just... So I think the format also hurts it.
That's a good point. Like, if you were in, say, a year's time watching them all together, you would feel very differently about this episode than waiting week per week, and that's, very valid.
Pacing's a funny thing, and pacing's a hard thing to manage, but, we were such boiling the pot of Chief and Halsey and everything with that, and I think that's still boiling where we left off in episode 6, and I want to see it.
So we're ready,
Having a break and, like, getting some downtime is good, but when you're waiting week to week, I think... When you're watching in an edit maybe, or when you're putting the show together, you're like, oh, this works as a good palate cleanser. But when it's week to week, I just think it kind of hits more like, I'm ready to go.
Yes. And this has just halted the brakes as opposed to given a moment of reprieve. Yeah, I totally get that.
And I'm sure, like, as people are probably going to feel definitely very much similar to you, which is maybe the worst episode of the bunch. And I don't really know. I don't know if that's how I feel yet. I'm trying to remember. I think episode 2, I did not think it was great. I think that just, from a character point, like, didn't move anything forward. Yeah. And I don't think I enjoyed 2.
It's very slow.
I think this is harsher because it comes off 5 and 6, which were the best of the season by far.
I guess I like Sauron as a character, but I'm not interested in his story at the moment. I don't feel like... I don't feel like there's a point or a purpose. It just feels like he's just living his life, doing his thing, and then he just happens to be entwined with Quan, and that's totally fine. That's not a bad thing in any storyline. It's just, I'm so much more intrigued by what was happening in episode 5 and 6, and I want to go back to that and not spend my time just watching him have like a dinner party with these fancily dressed people.
Yeah, like you can do all the toe squishing you want, but when there's not much, like, Bokeem Woodbine's a good actor. I think he does a good job as Sauron.
Great.
But yeah, it's like I get like they're trying to like have an arc for him and have him come around and stuff, but yeah, it hasn't landed for me.
Neither.
I like him as a character, like I don't dislike him.
Yeah, Sauron as a character is really cool and badass.
Same as Quan. I just feel like to an extent, her story feels way more kind of like just wedged in between the narrative and kind of forced into a narrative that the natural aspect of what Chief and Holes and everything, I feel like just feels more natural and flows better.
Yeah, and it just seems more connected and flowing. Whereas I feel like Quan and Sauron could have like a separate TV show that's like maybe 5 episodes or so, and like a kind of more Mandalorian style where you're just going on their adventures with them. But I feel like it doesn't as much fit in this show where there's such higher stakes that we're all trying to figure out where it's going. And yeah, then we just come back to the
I don't know if I'd watch a spin-off show of Sauron.
I don't know if I would either, but like the characters themselves are totally fine and their story's totally fine. I just don't think it fits in with this.
Give me an ODST spin-off.
Please. We have been scrumming for that for a long time.
But that's here nor there. But yeah, overall, I'd give it 5 out of 10 to chuck a number on it for me. 5. Okay. I don't think it's terrible. I like the camera work. It's still pretty good TV. Like
good, beautiful scenes. Yeah.
But overall, story-wise, just like didn't really move much along. But would you, if you had to put a number on it right now, hit me with it.
5.
Okay. Yeah.
Because none of it was bad, but none of it, like if that was multiple episodes, I wouldn't watch the series.
We had a plasma.
We did indeed have a plasma grenade, sticky bomb,
cool.
as I call them. Yeah. And
cool.
I think she picked up an AR, but I think it was the grenade assault rifle.
Yeah, that was weird though.
That was very confusing.
Like, shot it, and then everyone's like, ooh.
And they're all just waiting politely without shooting at her first.
Your goal, just shoot.
Didn't they want her dead? So like your goal would just.
He was too busy. He wanted to give like big speech again. He wanted to go go back on the megaphone. Like
exactly, it's his favorite thing to do apparently. But at least he's dead now.
Hopefully. I have yet to see they do the promos for like what's next week, but I'm excited to see the promo and get back to the main story. I naturally assume
there's only 9 episodes, so we're on episode 7, so we've got 8 and 9 left.
Yeah, penultimate episode is next week.
Hell yeah. That's exciting. So I hope you all are excited as well. And if you are, please make sure to hit the notification bell. Stay in tune with us each week as we give our thoughts. And yeah, please make sure to leave a like and subscribe and comment down below your thoughts, and do correct us if we're wrong about anything regarding Guilty Spark or any of that. We'd love to hear and discuss further. So yeah, we shall see you next week. Say bye, Jordan.
Bye.
Bye.